Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. All right, in studio, we've got Kristine Conway. Effective Focus, Inc. is her company. Kristine, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right. You had a particular topic you wanted to bring up, and I want to give you all the room you need.
Okay, awesome. So trust is such a big issue of late. I think it's probably always an issue.
Oh, come on. The trust has been an issue since Adam and Eve, man.
It is, and it's not going anywhere. And so last night I was at an event and I was handed some information on what BlackRock is doing as far as looking at what organizations are doing with trust, with how their human capital management is being handled. Mm-hmm. And that has direct ties right back to the CEO as well as the trust of that leadership team.
Okay. Break it down for us.
All right. So breaking it down. So some of the reports that are out are showing that organizations that have high trust in their leadership, they're taking care of their employees, they've got turnover is at a good number, or their attrition is at a really good number, mm-hmm. and they're actually making more money. And so therefore, it's hitting the bottom line in a number of ways, and investment groups are looking at that.
Okay. What's the key factor in making sure that you have the trust to keep the attrition numbers down, mm-hmm. to an acceptable number? I mean, in my world, it needs to stay at 0. But that's
in a perfect world.
Yeah, in a perfect world. But
yeah.
Let's start breaking down from your perspective, what needs to happen to get the effective organization to grow the way the CEO wants it to grow. I mean, I think that's a proper question.
Absolutely. So we've heard for years that people don't quit jobs; they quit people, and mainly they quit their supervisor. And being able to foster that relationship in a way that keeps people engaged, keeps people wanting to do the right thing, keeps people hot on innovation is key. And that relationship with that supervisor is that's where it's at.
Okay. So introverts need not apply. You've got to be able to engage.
You've got to be engaged. Now, introverts, they still have value and they can still engage individuals. Absolutely.
Yeah, but not as a CEO. You've got to be able to get out there and do that.
Well, there's some introverts that may be good CEOs. So I don't want to label.
Okay.
I don't want to label. But being able to connect with an individual. So, for instance, if you're able to be transparent and be authentic with your staff, with your leadership team, that goes miles for engagement and for helping with your tenure. It also helps with that where the employee meets the customer. That little sweet spot right mm-hmm. there, mm-hmm. that is where the magic happens with customer loyalty. You talk about even employee loyalty right there. Is that employee in a place that they enjoy working, that they are heard, that they feel valued? Mm-hmm. And it shows. It shows at the bottom line. It shows at that customer interaction.
Okay. So you've got to be able to, how would I put this, inspire the team mm-hmm. to all pull in the same direction and then have the same passion that you have for being the person that started the project, the company, the event.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Inspiration is big. And inspiration is very different than motivation. So inspiring, you're able to reach something inside of me. You've got to have enough time with me, enough value with me to light me on fire, to help me light my own fire, really. Mm-hmm. And that is key. Motivation is more about that carrot in front of someone, right, which only lasts for a little bit.
That's the bonus until it's spent.
Exactly. And that's probably a 90-day return on that.
Got it. Okay. I don't want to derail what you were talking about. I just, you hit some hot buttons. I go, oh.
Yeah, no, I like
key
it.
Issue.
I like the hot buttons.
Okay, go ahead.
So, key is a key in trust, or trust is a key in creating innovation, effectiveness, productivity. And, one of the first ways that I would suggest for a CEO or any leader in an organization to really look at how they're doing is do some self-reflection. Figure out what it is that how they are being perceived. Get some feedback on that. And as you know, the higher you go in the organization, the less feedback you get.
Okay.
Yeah?
I mean, the bigger the organization, the less feedback you mean.
Well, power has a lot to do with it. So, yeah, you could have a group of 10 and you not get the feedback that maybe you could get that would help you.
Okay. Is that because lack of interaction or there's some fear of rejection?
It's a lot of things.
Okay. So it depends.
It does depend, but fear is a big one. Fear of giving someone feedback that they're not going to like, especially if it's someone who's in a powerful position. Mm-hmm. Fear's huge. A lot of people drive their lives by fear.
How do you alleviate the fear to get to the point where you're working together better?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, first thing I would say is for a CEO to get some kind of structured feedback. If a third party comes in and helps with that, that's a safe place to play, because a third party, such as a coach, can come in, do a 360, an assessment to get kind of everybody's like perception of how you're working.
Right.
Get that out. Be able to do a debrief on that. That's very objective. Nobody in the room is going to get their feelings hurt. And then taking that and then working on it.
That's a one-on-one thing, or is it a group thing?
Well, it can be both. It's a one-on-one as far as the coach debriefing with the CEO, but everyone that has influence with that CEO fills out that assessment. So it's a group that way.
Okay, so the assessment is not a verbal assessment; it's a written assessment. Mm-hmm. Then you talk to them and go over the answers.
Exactly, okay. Exactly. Now there are verbal 360s as well, which are pretty interesting, where a coach will go in and do interviews with other people.
Okay, all right. The effectiveness on that, is that depending on the buy-in from the not just, I mean, if the CEO's initiating it, then obviously he's bought in or she is bought in.
Exactly.
But it's the people that are participating.
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest reason they don't jump in and just go, oh, sure, talk to me. I've got all kinds of stuff to tell you.
I think the biggest reason is fear, fear of retaliation. You know, I'm telling you that you have spinach in your teeth, and you may be embarrassed.
Okay.
You know? So ego is big. It plays big in that.
Ego.
Yeah, ego's a big one.
So the bigger ego on the team that's got to be the tougher one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a jolly green giant.
Absolutely. And, you know, coaching and development cannot be forced on anyone. You got to want it.
Yeah, I got a friend says you got to want to.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's drop down that list and see what else I'm blowing up here. Go ahead.
Well, you know, just some of the really cool things to know that many people will think that building trust or having that time, that quality time with employees is kind of soft and it doesn't have any financial impact. Well, there's been a number of reports, and there was one in the Harvard Business Review back in last year sometime that talked about 70% of stress is being reduced by companies that have high trust cultures.
Okay.
So that's huge. So if you have someone who's got high stress, you're looking at people making a lot of mistakes. You're looking at a lot of time off that probably doesn't need to be taken off. You're looking at meetings that last longer than need to be, that are unproductive. You're looking at 50% higher productivity for people who are in high trust organizations versus low trust organizations. And it starts at the top, trickles down to the bottom line.
So just trying to connect the dots here outside the box. If your organization really isn't performing the way you think it should be at a peak performance, there's a trust issue underlying all of the issues, and you got to find that, fix it before you can really take that team and make them move forward.
Absolutely. Foundational piece.
Okay, I got it. Let's take a break. We'll talk more about the subject on the other side. All right.
All right.
We'll be right back here with Kristine Conway, Effective Focus Inc. You've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba. We'll be right back. Follow us on podcasts. Follow us on social media. Got a question? Go to our website. Send it in. We'll do our best to answer it. We'll be right back.
From the North Texas Traffic Center, got a brand new accident in Dallas. Only the right lane getting through on 35 East southbound there before Marsalis Avenue. About a 20 to 25 minute delay. You're going to find a lot of stopped traffic back from Riverfront Boulevard. Go ahead and move over into Fort Worth, where we got some minor road construction blocking the right lane on 30 eastbound. There at Chapel Creek Boulevard, you can give yourself about 5 to 10 minutes to try to drive through all of that. You'll find some slow traffic back from Lincrest Drive. Other than that, things look pretty good around the area. An accident cleared in Mesquite, 30 westbound at Gus Thompson Road. Maybe a 2-minute delay there at the most. I'm William Shotwell with Look at Your DFW area traffic.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit pcadevzone.org.
This is an important message for all sales professionals. Still not hitting your numbers? Can't break out of this slump? Notify CRM does the selling for you. Simply upload your contacts, choose an interactive video, and press send. Your customers click on the video and respond to your call to action. For a limited time, you can get Notify CRM for just $9.99 a month. Supercharge your sales. Reduce your workload today. Use tomorrow's tools today to keep you ahead of the competition. Go to notificrm.com. That's notificrm.com. Sign up today. Call us at 855-250-2300. 855-250-2300.
If you want to reduce your electric bills by up to 40% this summer and make your home much more comfortable to live in, add Radiant Barrier to your attic from Energy Attic. Energy Attic's Radiant Barrier will keep your attic much cooler, allowing your AC unit to run less, saving you on your electric bills. Schedule a free estimate today from Energy Attic. Just go to energyattic.com. You can save $500 off Radiant Barrier when you mention House Talk Texas. Restrictions apply. Reduce your electric bills up to 40%. Visit energyattic.com. That's energyattic.com.
Do you have trouble taking your vitamins? Aftertastes, indigestion, gag reflexes? Does taking or drinking your vitamins leave you with an upset stomach? Do you ever wonder if they're even working? It's no secret oral supplements don't work the same for everybody, if at all. But isn't the goal of taking them to help you feel and live better? Well, stop swallowing and start patching. Take advantage of our advanced technology with the quickest and easiest way to get 100% all-natural supplements directly into your system through your skin. Go to thevitaminpatch.com and enter code WFN120 for 20% off your first order.
From Miami to Palm Beach to Florida Keys, New York, Bahamas, Cuba, the Caribbean, and the Mediterranean. Lots of yachts, lots of spots. Has done events for major CEOs, heads of states, movie stars, and VIPs. From a wedding to a charity event, from the U.S. Open sponsorship parties to Super Bowls. Lots of yachts, lots of spots. We'll help you plan the party, the event, or the vacation you will never forget. An event to be remembered. Click on Lots of Yachts at WFN1.com.
What would you do if you won the lottery? Maybe take a long vacation, Bahamas, Maui, Paris. Maybe fill an entire pool with nacho cheese and have the world's biggest nacho party. Maybe get that tractor you've always wanted. Well, the Texas Lottery has paid out more than $21 billion to lottery winners. People who simply had a dream and bought a ticket. Lottery.com makes it even easier to play and track winnings. Download the Lottery.com app and get your first ticket for free. So go ahead, dream on. What would you do if you won? Go to Lottery.com to learn more.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-500-8121. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-500-8121. That's 1-800-500-8121. 1-800-500-8121.
Hey everybody, are you ready for the hottest show in radio? The Nicole Barrett Show, every Saturday at 3 p.m. Hot topics, legendary stars, and politics. It's the Nicole Barrett Show, every Saturday, 3 p.m. on Talk Radio 1190 AM.
From the Talk Radio 1190 Weather Center, I'm Anthony with your DFW weather. Cloudy today with a shower possible with a high of 73. So if you're headed to opening day, make sure you bring an umbrella. This evening, clear with a low of 49. This weather report brought to you by Think It Up.
Hi, I'm Nick Jonas, and I'm here to tell you about Think It Up, a new initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join us at thinkitup.org.
Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for being here. All right, I'm talking with Kristine Conway. She is the owner of Effective Focus, Inc., web address, effectivefocusinc.com. And we're taking a deep dive, more so than I think most people do on any show, whether TV or radio, into what's really going on in the heads of people to keep them working at a level, both on a inspirational level as well as a motivational level, so that everybody pulls together and we all get accomplished the thing that makes our passion run as high as possible, which spills over into a very successful and profitable and happy company for everybody. Am I on cue with that?
You are. You're spot on.
Okay, go ahead. Take me down the road. What do we need to discover next so that we can make it better?
Well, so one of the things that CEOs can do is to ask more questions. We talked about this a little bit the last segment about, we're rewarded for being the smartest one in the room. We're rewarded for having all the answers. However, that is not the greatest way to innovate and to inspire individuals. Because if I tell you what to do, what does that leave me? Just to do it, right? It doesn't inspire me to take any kind of new action. It doesn't inspire me to think of a really cool way to do it. I'm just going to do what you said.
So you're saying push more for critical thinking.
Push more for critical thinking. Absolutely. Absolutely. And many times, there's an art to asking questions. And so asking questions that you already know the answer to.
Yeah, a lawyer does that.
A lawyer does that. And how do you feel when that happens?
Dude, don't patronize me.
Exactly. But we do that a lot to our employees, and we don't mean to. Can you think of the last time that you did that, maybe?
I don't do that.
Do you not?
I can't stand it when people do it to me, so I just hate. I was like, I know what it sounds like. I was like, no.
We're going to take a poll of the employees in just a moment and see if you do that.
Okay.
But yeah, so you have, that is something that you feel strongly about. And when we see that, we tend to not do things that we don't like to be done to us, right?
Right.
So, but that's a very common thing. Bosses, leaders, supervisors, CEOs will ask questions that we already know the answers to. And that can be very disheartening to an employee that you're not going to inspire them to do anything
You have to keep morale high to make everything work and keep the passion level involved. Am I wrong?
No, you're spot on.
Okay, now that's not a question that I knew the answer to. I'm just trying to stay on track with you.
And I took it in context.
Okay.
So good job.
Okay, next.
So staying curious, asking questions, there's an art to that, keeping them open-ended. Not putting your opinion inside a question.
Everybody does that. They all do that. Everybody has one form or another of how they do that.
Yeah.
It's the degree.
It is.
Is that what you're?
Well, it's a degree, but when you ask a really clean question that doesn't have your opinion in it, you get better answers.
Okay.
Because sometimes when we ask a question that has an opinion in it, have you thought about doing it this way, or things like that?
Or if I may suggest.
If I may suggest, absolutely. And so what you do at that point is the receiver of that question now has a framework that they're going to work in. And that's going to give you an answer that you're looking for rather than the best answer.
Okay. Because that's all we do all day long with our team is try and solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't guess the opinion. So some of the more sarcastic people do that. Their opinion is in the question.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just trying to lead you by questions so that you think it's really your idea.
Yeah, and that's manipulation.
Exactly.
That's manipulation. And that's definitely a derailer when you're talking about trying to inspire people.
Okay, I got it. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, you're driving.
Awesome. So one of the other things is self-regulation.
Mm-hmm.
How do you regulate yourself?
Scratching my head. What do you mean?
So how well do you control your emotions? How well do you control the voices inside your head? We all have them, and that happens.
That depends on the crisis.
Okay, tell me more.
I mean, sometimes you can have a crisis that just like overwhelms you, and you're like, stop.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can like, okay, take a breath. Wait a minute. Now, how did we get here?
Exactly. However, you know that you've really refined that skill of self-regulation is if, regardless of the height of the crisis, you can still maintain control. That's when you know.
You always got to keep your cool.
You always have to keep your cool.
Sometimes it's a little more difficult than others, depending on the varying degree of the crisis that you're dealing. Because the only time anybody loses their cool is when they think it's a crisis, and now I have an immediate reaction that has to be made, immediate decision that have to be made, and sometimes the head's going to roll.
And that's the only time that emotional intelligence matters.
Okay, so that's the most time you've got to keep control.
Absolutely.
And so the biggest derailer I'm getting is when your emotion starts to creep into this issue.
When you allow your emotions to take over. When you allow your emotions to drive, then you're not making rational decisions. And you're probably not saying things that are very inspirational.
Right. They end up being counterproductive.
Absolutely.
All right. There's other people out there in the world that are having the same issues that we just spoke about in the last two segments. If they need your help, if they want to engage your help in order to make a more effective organization and communication with themselves and the people, how do they reach out to you?
Well, they can call me directly, actually. It's 313-246-4230. So it's 313-246-4230. And you can go to my website at www.effectivefocusinc.com.
Kristine, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Kristine Conway, EffectiveFocusInc.com. Thanks for joining us. You've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Don't forget podcasts and social media. Follow us everywhere we are.